John, it's very, very rare this season we've managed to get you in front of the camera, but he was sitting Thursday before the Bonus game on Saturday, and I thought it would be good to get a wee chat with you. So let's sum up the season with 2 games to go. Obviously, there's a potential to finish fifth, but realistically, it's looking like it might be sixth or seventh, depending on how results go. Going back to, let's not go back to when you guys took the job, let's go back to the start of the season. Have we exceeded expectations? What's your thoughts? Have we done exactly what you expected? Or
Probably punched above our weight in many ways. I think given the league and when you look, it's a whole new team. Really, it's a brand new squad for the summer. So we looked at that in the summer and thought, we brought in some good players, but it's going to take time for the players to gel, get to know each other, then get to know us and get to know our ways and how we do things. So, and don't get me wrong, it's when you put that many players together, there's going to be ups and downs in there, and it was, the season started off a wee bit slow for us initially. But you can see moments in there, and obviously we've lost a couple of players in amongst that as well. We had to move a few on just due to budget constraints, and then to actually kicked on really well. You know what I mean? So unbelievable season, to be fair, and given the fact that we managed to get a bit of silver in it, it's just unthinkable for us at the beginning of the season. But to potentially finish fifth or certainly into sixth, it's exceeding expectations. We did have a wee idea where we want to finish, but you've got to take into a lot of things into consideration, just your new squad budgets, etc., and squad depth, and again, you're probably just going, let's just see where we end up. But certainly the players have been magnificent for us, and they've exceeded our expectations.
John, the sides, it's a very young side. You mentioned there about moving a few bodies on and how the teams. It's weird that in it, because I think Billy moved on. He went to Bonus, didn't he? Mm-hmm. Billy was a really important player for the club, and there's been other bodies that have moved on as well. But it's mad that you can actually kick on, and when you lose bodies, it's kind of weird how things go in it.
It was. Obviously we lost Cole McIntyre as well. We had to move Cole on. He went to Rob Roy, and obviously Billy's went to Bonus. And then we've lost Cal Wilson, who's probably arguably one of the biggest ones who moved up the leagues and went to Forster. So to lose the three, and especially probably Cal Wilson as well, he was injured but he was coming back just at a time where we were going to look to try and kick him on a wee bit. So to lose a player of that quality was a real tough one. But we've brought in Carrick McAvoy for St Mirren, and we've signed Thomas Horn for Partick Thistle, and they've just slotted in, and they've just get right in about the dressing room. They've been excellent, and their form has been brilliant as well. So they've kicked us on, and again, though, it's down to the players. The players want to feel sorry for themselves when you lose players. You know what I mean? I was probably one or two asking questions what's happening, but they trusted us. They trusted us to go and find the right replacements, and we've managed to go and do that. And it's kicked us on since the boys have come in, and even for Christmas onwards, we've been outstanding.
I've mentioned just before there the roster is fully young boys.
Yeah.
Did that worry you at any point? Bringing in the likes Thomas and Carrick, they are young boys, but obviously they play at a level. Does that worry you, bringing in such a young player to slot into what's essentially is semi-professional football at Tier 5? Are you worried that they're maybe not going to do the job that you require them to do?
There is not so much a worry. I'll certainly give them an opportunity. That's one for sure. And we do our homework on them, and we do our homework every player, and their attitude, their mentality, and we kind of put these kind of specifics out there to the agents or the coaching staff at their professional clubs, and we'll make sure obviously that they're coming to fit with us and what they want to do. So, and obviously when Thomas came in, Thomas was at Peterhead, wasn't really getting much game time, but we knew he was your type of striker, what we need. And he came in with Carrick with a wee bit more knowledge of, because Carrick finished the season here last year. We see for the last 3 weeks of the season, only played 2 games though, but we knew the boy had potential and ability, so we were keen to get him back at the beginning of the season. Unfortunately, they ended up moving him to Dumbarton, and then he was there till Christmas time, and then obviously came into us. But no, we don't fear about young players coming in and playing, because the platform's there for them, and obviously given our kind of budget constraints anyway, we're going to have to look at the loan market and stuff, so we're always going to give young players a chance. But at the end of the day, it's already having young players, they've got to be good enough as well, and show that they're mature enough to step into this level and go and compete. And thankfully the players that we've brought in have been excellent for us all season. So and I'll be sorry to see them go, because you can't hold on to them, and they'll go back to their clubs see where their future lies. But and we'll look at the next crop coming in. But we've done well in the last couple of opportunities now we've had with loan players. So hopefully again it continues into next season as well.
Is that important for a club like Cumbernauld, Colts, to use? I know we've got this cooperative agreements that you can put in place, but I know there's teams that don't really use that and use relationships that they've maybe built.
Yeah.
Is that important for a club like Cumbernauld to maybe be able to bring 5 or 6 raw talents into the club?
No, definitely. I think again, like I said, that mentioned a couple of times now. There's certainly the budget constraints. As we're going to have a group of players there. We're going to have a smaller group of players in order to try and get the best quality we can. And then after that, you're looking at loans. But also important as well is under 20s team. Our under 20s team is also massive as well to bring in players. And some of the young boys that's coming through, we've promoted 3 this year. Only 2 unfortunately stayed, or 2 left very early on. So just due to get maybe a wee bit impatient and stuff as well. And that's just been unfortunate. And you're hoping obviously these young players coming through their 20s, or even the younger academy as well, can see obviously there's a platform here to go and try and play. So we'll give them that opportunity. We'll give them that chance if they're wanting to go and put the work in and do the effort and be patient. And you're right, certainly with the younger professionals that's coming in, it's something this club has to thrive on. And we've done well last season. Some of the boys that were here on loan last season, some boys that were here, young players that were here last season, want to bigger and better things now. The boys want to full-time football, other players want to part-time football in League One. So we're over the moon with the development of players, and obviously we'll just keep giving them that platform. We'll keep getting the right players in the door, and now hopefully they'll continue to strive on.
Let's switch over to a couple of players that have maybe signed, well, not maybe, that have signed new contracts. Just how important is it to keep players like Callum home at the club?
Massive. Cal's, this is his 6th spell now. Cal's the most experienced player we've got in the dressing room. But again, when we brought Cal back, it's because of the type of character he was, and how professional he was. He came in, worked hard, looks after the younger guys, gives them advice, how he comes across, very professional, and he was massive to us. So the experience, we've not got a lot of experience, as you said, but we're a young side, so we're always looking to the kind of so-called senior players. Now, some of your senior players are 24 and 25, so they've been about.
Use Jai Stevenson as an example. He's 21 or something.
He's just turning 21. So
and you would consider him as a senior player, I suppose.
He's been about now for a while, and he'll be at senior football as well. So we need to use as much. We need to try and get as much out of these players as possible and use every bit of experience they've got. So Cal's been massive to us as well. And listen, we're hoping to keep majority, if not all, the players here we want. We think if we can get a good chance again for next season, if we can hold on to everybody, it's not always going to be easy because we can't compete financially with everybody else. And there's certainly players this season, with this kind of season they've had, they're certainly attracting interest. So it's up to us to try and do our best to try and keep hold of them. But listen, if they leave, we wish them well. Players have left before, and we've brought in other players who's maybe just as good or maybe different in some way, and we'll work with that and hopefully get the benefit of them as well.
Young Jack was crunching numbers yesterday for us. I didn't realise that Cammy Dixon was nigh on 200 appearances for Cumbernauld Colts. And Danny Hatfield as well. I know Danny signed a new contract. How important is it to keep Danny at the club?
Again, Danny's he's been hampered with injuries since we came in the door. When I first came in the door, he was out for 6 weeks. Never really got a benefit of him last season, but he showed in moments he's got something. This season again started the same way, unfortunately. Again, more injuries, and it looks like he's just going to continue to just keep getting niggles. But over the last few months, his form has been incredible. But again, such an infectious boy, comes in, works ever so hard, very professional. Probably overdoes it a little bit at times, and I'm always wondering if he can give himself a bit of rest at times. But he's been massive to us, absolutely massive. His goals, his contribution, he's prepared to work. He's so clever in it as well. And again, I can hope to see him going from strength to strength. He's been here for a long time now, so I'm delighted for him.
And he hit double figures last week.
Yeah, double figures.
And given the injuries, you wouldn't actually think it, would you?
I know, we were given his injuries, we were hoping to get double figures in appearances, let alone goals. So to get goals off him as well, as I said, he's been excellent. But all the front players over the last few months have really contributed. Josh Farquhar's another one that's come in, as I said, 17-year-old for St Mirren, been outstanding for us. Thomas Horn's come in, been outstanding for us as well. We've got a few others that are contributing well. Big Abraham, Lucas, who's been injured as well. We just seem to get, unfortunately, an awful lot of injuries, and we're doing our best trying to ease that off a little bit. And unfortunately, getting this weekend as well, we've got injuries all our back line as well. So it looks like we've only got one fit defender at the moment. So
I'll play.
I think Adam's going to play.
John, I'd like to touch on, it's been a season full of great moments, but none other than that Lowland League Cup victory at Newtown Park in Bo'ness. It seems like a lifetime ago, and it was actually only a few weeks back, but how does that rank for you as a manager? It must be right up there.
Oh, it is. I mean, it's, to be fair, it's one of the things I've been chasing a little bit. I was quite successful early doors in my managerial career at Hamden Row and won Scottish Cups and leagues and everything else. And when you move from that into the kind of senior football, junior football and stuff, you're desperate to get that next cup win. And when you look at my last final was with St Cadoc's, and I didn't feel as if it was my final because I arrived in the semi-final, won the semi-final, get the final. We went there with a team that were practically on their knees. So I never ever felt as if I earned it. For me personally, but to get to a final this year, when you think about it, was 15 months ago we took over, you're bottom of the league with 5 points adrift for the second bottom, to 15 months later you've won a trophy and you're fighting for 5th and 6th. It's been an incredible journey for us, and one that's been very successful and enjoyable. So, but again, it ranks right up there for me. I had to pinch myself on the way home basically. I had to pinch myself in the semi-final and we're 4-1 up against the Lithgow in the semi. So I literally looked at the scoreboard as I walked in. I was like, kind of like 4-1 here, but you're just hoping obviously you see it through. But when you look at the final, it's it could have went anyway.
And what a way to win it! A 94th minute screamer.
We'll call it a screamer. No, it was a great hit for me, man.
It was a hit.
A great hit for me, man. And listen, they take it on as well. And do you know what? It just what they deserved. The players deserved it. And they've put so much into the season, and even. I know even like some other teams maybe have switched off at sometimes. That's tendency. We haven't switched off. We're still keep going. We've mentioned that to players tonight in their meeting tonight. 2 games to go. Don't stop. Just keep working. Keep going. The standards. We try and set the standards. It's not about what the occasion is, the way the game is. It's every single game you want to try and win every single game, and we make that crystal clear. But the players have to follow up on it, and they've been so far been brilliant. Hopefully they can continue that the next 2 games.
You've spoke fondly about the players there, John, but sometimes management doesn't come into it, just how important, not just your role, but you've got Xander, Gomes, we've got David, we've got the girls that look after you guys, the doc, Shannon, everybody, just how important a role do these people play for you guys?
For me, it's always been massive, Bill. You've known me before. It's everybody plays a part, yourself included. Everybody plays a part. Everybody's got to have a role to play, and an important role to play, to make it a good club, to make it a good environment. And that's what we've got here. We've got at Cumbernauld Colts. It's been a fantastic environment since we walked in the door. Obviously helps when you're doing well. It's even better, but the things are in place for players to come in here. And in the dressing room, I've said it before, the dressing room's massive to me in terms of the type of personnel you're bringing in, the type of people you're bringing in, because they'll go more for you. Sometimes you'll lose it and there may be a better quality player, but if that better quality player's not got the right attitude or right mentality or buying into what you want, and that's it doesn't work. So that's one thing I'll say with the players. They've bought into us. We've told them right from the word go, this is how we're going to do things. Be here and this is the terms and conditions of it, but you enjoy it. Or if it's not for you, then we'll move on. But thankfully they've bought into it and we've got the rewards for it, so I'm delighted for them.
Hearing all the laughter next door. So the guys are obviously in a good place, but it's something I never really spoke to Stuart very much when I first came into the club, and I've got to know him over a period of time. Actually, for once, when I seen that goal win for Aidan, I turned around and he looked so proud. Just how important do you think that was for Stuart, Fiona, Margaret Ann, people that have been at his club for a long time?
It's probably everything to the because you've got to look at the amount of work they put in all year round, and the hassle that comes with it as well, and having to deal with us at times. You're delighted for them because it's their club. You know what I mean? Players will come and go, managers will come and go, coaches will come and go, and for us to give them something back is excellent. I was delighted for them. You know what I mean? I see the photographs after the game. You see the photos get together. It makes you proud that you've managed to give something back to them, considering the amount of work they put in for us and everything they do for you. So it was a proud moment for me to do that for them. And I mean, and you mentioned the management team earlier on as well there, and it's probably something I've not touched on enough. Our management team's been excellent this season. You know, we bounce off each other so well, we go home really well. Training's been vibrant, it's good. We've got players who look forward to coming to training, how we work ways, but what we do off the park, or even the wee bits off the park that nobody sees, it's second to none. The detail we go into as well has been excellent. So again, the management team make it easy, certainly make it easy for me. It make it easy to go and do my job. You know what I mean? I can focus on the role I need to do, and they do their job brilliantly as well. So it's been a good balance.
Do you think winning the Lowland League Cup will keep the Mackenzie family happy for a wee while?
I hope so. I hope so.
John, let's talk about. Let's quickly touch on what next season's going to look like. If it's going to be a different beast altogether. I think with it's definitely nine West teams that are going to be coming up. I think there's a potential to be 10, depending on who wins the Lowland League and if they go up and stuff like that. How different a league is it going to look next year? No, you're not going to have those trips to Berwick on a Wednesday night. I'm sure you'll be delighted about that. Right. But you know, you're going to be heading down to Beechwood Park, Portland Park, Townhead Park, places that you've maybe been before in the West that maybe some of these boys haven't been. Just how different is the Lowland League going to look next year?
It's got to be a big difference, because you always get South teams coming in that as well. Then you've got current teams like Cali Braves and Albion Rovers and Gretna, and obviously these clubs are going to be in it. So it's going to be very new to a lot of teams. And again, it's how the West adapt to us, or do we have to adapt to the West? There's got to be a wee bit of kind of chess getting played there initially. So, but the one thing about myself, in Goms especially, we know the West inside out. We know a lot of players, we know a lot of people being in the grounds, as you say. We know a lot about them, know about the management teams and their styles and the individual players. So we're well equipped. The biggest thing for us is obviously trying to get that information across to the players and for them to take it on for what they're coming to next, because it's going to be different. I think the Lowland League's been excellent. I've really enjoyed the 18 months I've been in it. I think the way the game gets played, I love it. I personally like it. I think it's a different game. It's more tactical, and that's what I think has been excellent for us this season. That's where we've kind of excelled a wee bit. Next season it'll be a bit of both, a bit of tactical, but a bit of, you know, you've got difficult places, difficult grounds. So as I say, we are certainly well equipped in terms of the management team to try and deal with it. We just need to get the message across to the players that we've got, and the players that we bring in as to what we need to do, because we'll need to adapt. Every game will be different. Certainly playing at home, we will try and do our thing. But you're going to, you've got difficult venues there, so we need to adapt to their strengths and hopefully pick on their weaknesses.
John, I know it's very difficult to take the Lowland League Cup final win out of the equation, but if you were to, I know mine's, but if you were to take a moment for the season as a whole, where would you go?
It's going to be the final, isn't it? It's going to be the final, but
you can't take the final. You're not allowed to take the final.
I don't think you could take that out.
Remove the final, forget it happened.
If you're removing the final, okay. If you're removing the final, probably one of the proudest moments has got to Clydebank.
That's mine too.
And play the way we played at Clydebank, not just because we won the game, but we were excellent. And you know, fair play to Gordon Moffat, who spoke after it in his post match, and he was full of compliments for our club and our players. So it's probably the best what we've played, and it was coming. You know, we'd played a few games prior to that. We played Bonnerick here as well. We were excellent and never getting anything from it, and we played a couple of wee moments against bigger clubs. We felt as if we've done well and not getting any reward. So to go to a club like Clydebank, sit at the top of the league, they're flying, and all of a sudden you've just turned them over on their own ground, and the performance we put on was excellent. So it's probably going to be a highlight of the season for me, out with the cup win.
It might not be the highlight for other teams, because I think that gave them a toe up the backside, that game, to be perfectly honest with you.
No, there's a couple thereabouts after that, to be fair. I think we obviously took the wind ourselves a little bit, but at the same time, I'm still pleased for Gordon and Gaz and the guys at Clydebank, because they've kicked on brilliantly, and listen, hopefully they can maybe go and win it as well for them. They're a good bunch down there as well. So, but again, for us, it was a moment for us that maybe just shone for what was potentially there already that we've seen, and I'm glad that we managed to get it against a big club like that, and it gave the boys a big lift.
Put you on the spot then. So Jack's normally my start man. We've not been beat very often since that game.
No. We've not been beat often since then. No.
I know you don't like talking about that very much, John. We've got 2 games to go. I think everybody at the club can agree that it's been an excellent season. On and off the park, the Lowland League Cup win was absolutely sensational. For myself and everybody, obviously at the club, we wish you the best for Bonus on Saturday, and then it's Stirling Uni in the finale here next Saturday. But listen, thanks very much for joining us on a training night, and we'll speak to you soon, mate.
Cheers, Paul. Thank you.